Greetings, this is Diana Silva, and you are listening to the Tales from the Reef podcast. Slay them all.
And we're back with another special episode, Tales from the Riff. Joining me today, all the way from Portugal, is our man, Koraxid, from the Portuguese Black Metal band, Grievance. How you doing today, Koraxid?
Well, I'm doing fine, yes. Thank you.
I'm so glad that we're able to hook this up today, man. And really excited to be speaking. You are one of the first... Actually, you are the first Portuguese black metal artist that I've ever had on this show. So thank you for joining me.
All right. I'm honored. Also, thank you very much. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very cool to speak to somebody like from the other side of the Atlantic. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm all the way here in the Gulf Coast of the United States, here in Louisiana.
All right.
And we have a few select black metal bands, and we have a black metal audience. Of course, it's probably smaller in number than that of Europe, of course. But I try to bring it to whoever wants to listen to my little podcast here. And
all right.
So I was just whenever Diana spoke, it mentioned your band. Well, immediately I was interested, and she shot me. She sent me over the band's website, some of the music, and I immediately was drawn in with everything that y'all doing. And I've seen that. I mean, you have been in the black metal genre. I mean, since you were, really, really young. You want to tell us more about that?
Well, yes. Well, I had the opportunity to start listening to black metal when I was I don't know, about 14 years old or something. I was really a kid. Then, because of my brother, which is my older brother, he's like a heavy metal fan also, and he showed me this band, which I was like completely. I never heard anything like that in my life, which was actually Cradle of Filth's first album, The Principle of Evil Made Flesh, which was out on that time in 1994. And they would play. They played live in Portugal, and everybody was like stunned with their style and music and the corpse paint and everything. It was something really new to the Portuguese people.
Yeah.
This kind of sound, and it really influenced me since that time. And then I started, searching for more and more bands. Then I met the Norwegian bands, also the Nordic bands like Impaled Nazarene and Emperor, of course, which is one of my all-time favorite bands. Well, their first album, it's on my top 10 favorite albums. The In the Night Said Eclipse, which I was really influenced by that album, and lots of more albums. Yeah, since I was like 14, 15 years old, something like that. Yes, it was really a long time ago. Yes.
What was it about the bands you mentioned, like Emperor and Impale Nazarene? What were the things, some of the elements of those bands that really drew you in as a fan from the very beginning?
Well, they were really extreme.
Mm-hmm.
They were really extreme in not brutal, not only brutally extreme in sound wise, but they had something else which was like keyboards and ambient sounds. It was like it was much more interesting, much more like theatrical or something like that, and that really drawn me to the style. It's not so simple as other styles like death metal or thrash metal, which is just all about playing some music. and banging your head. I have nothing against that kind of people, and that kind of sound. I really enjoyed thrash and death metal also. I really liked it till today. But to me, black metal is it's much more interesting. You can explore some much more, theatrical themes and fantasy stuff and mix it all together. It is a much broader style, like art for making art expressions. I don't know if I'm trying to explain something like.
Oh, you're explaining it
I
just
don't know
fine.
if I'm. Yes. I think people who are listening to this will understand what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I understand you just fine. I could just tell that from everything you're telling me that black metal resonated with you. It just piqued your interest from an ambient and atmospherical standpoint, and that's just something that drew you in. And and same for me. I know for me, when I heard Immortal and Dark Throne and Emperor as well, it's just something about that atmosphere they created with the tremolo picking, with the drumming. I mean, even the shrills. It's something about it that just hooked me
It's
in.
kind of magical,
It is
something like that.
It is. And I know that there's some people that they'll just take it as noise or something really unpleasant, but with the right set of ears and the right amount of open mindedness, I mean, it's a really magical piece of work.
Yes, it is, and yes, and you really hit it the spot. The real motive which led me to be a real black metal fan was the cross section, the crossover between very beautiful melodies and very aggressive guitar sounds, and very beautiful lyrics and very shrieky vocals. It's like, you know, the balance between aggression and beauty. And to me, that is like the best of both worlds, because it's not mellow and it's not totally just noise and aggression. It's something mixed. Which makes it pretty much, it makes it really special. Because of that.
You see,
Yes.
whenever you say it with your Portuguese accent, it sounds way more beautiful than I could ever explain it.
Well, yes, yeah, and there is another motive also, because I grew up in a small village, on the countryside,
Okay.
just next next to a city, a small Portuguese city,
Mm-hmm.
like 50, some 12 miles, no, not miles, like 6 miles or something.
Uh huh.
I'm not making the math that good, but something like that, from a city. So I was on the countryside, and listening to black metal and wandering with my, and when I was a kid, with my Walkman, with the tapes and everything on the 90s. It
Yeah.
was like, it was really magical, just wandering on the countryside on the on sundown and on the night, and just dreaming about all that kind of soundscapes and everything. It's very, it's something which really resonated with me, and really, it's a part of me. Till today. I really, it's a kind of escapism. Escaping from the day to day stuff and just dreaming, like, it's very important to me, actually.
Yeah.
Till today, it still is. I still wonder on sometimes, on the countryside. I'm still living in the countryside, which is great for inspiration and everything. It's really nice. And so black metal is the perfect soundtrack for that.
It re-
So this is also a reason.
I'm I just brought up your website again to give me some reference here, and it says that you were born in and correct me if I don't say it right, in Caldas da Rainha.
Da Rainha.
Okay.
In Portuguese, we say Caldas da Rainha.
Okay.
which is a city. That city which I was talking about. It's a small city, you know.
Uh huh.
Well, for American standards, it's really small. You know,
Right.
Portugal has small cities. Have just 10 million inhabitants total. You know, it's
And,
really a small country.
you,
You know, so
and you go on to describe some of the bands that your older brother showed you that you found interesting as a child. And let me just tell you, I wish I had your older brother, uh,
yeah.
because I mean he was pushing the Doors, Pink Floyd, Iron Maiden, and Black Sabbath at an early age with you, and but
Well, yes, I'm really, you know, I'm really fortunate for that. Yes, it's true. It's
yeah,
true.
I had, you know, I didn't. I'm the oldest son of three children. I have two younger sisters, but fortunately for me, I had a bunch of older cousins uh, in the town that I was born, and they were the ones who were primarily responsible for my musical upbringing. So without them, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Yes, there is always someone who shows you the music, right? Or your brother, or actually, I have friends of mine which was like their father or their mother, which listened to Black Sabbath, or that kind of older stuff, you know.
Yep.
But there's always someone who shows you, you know, at least the more extreme metal or the heavy metal stuff. There's always somebody, which is this is not really mainstream, you know. So there's always someone who shows you something, you know. That is really magical, also, you know, the way you get to be a fan of extreme music. You know, it's very interesting. Yes, but it's true. It's my brother. He's the responsible. Yes.
So
Yeah.
tell me what it was like to grow up in the small village, in the small city that you lived in. Tell me if you just take us back of what the day to day life was like back then as a child growing up.
Well, you know, nothing really happening. You know, it's just very very small town. You know, very you know how you say it, very conservative people
Mm-hmm.
in my school. Actually, there was like some metalheads and some punks also. I grew up also always with punk guys who listen to punk rock or to crustcore or grindcore, like Napalm, that kind of stuff, you know.
Okay.
I grew up also with lots of friends of mine who listened. I'm also and I also listen to it, you know. I also like it, you know. But you know, I just kind of went to the black metal way, you know. I don't know why. It's like my taste. But yes, there were lots of people listening to metal, which was nice, you know, at that time in the 90s. Because metal was very popular in the 90s, you know, it was a very popular style. You know, next to now, it is not. I think so. At least in Portugal, it is not. Um, so it was really nice, you know, nice people, you know, some tape trading also, you know, exchanging some tapes. Of course, everybody showed me like the classical stuff like Slayer and Sepultura and, you know, Pantera, you know, all that kind of bands. You know, everybody was listening to that. Or of course, Deicide,
Oh
which is
yeah.
in 1995, I think. It was like, you know, a great the album, you know, Once Upon a Cross.
Yes.
It had like a really big impact, you know, in Portuguese metalheads. I can recall that. In to me also, I really love that album. You know, it's a great album, great
It's,
death metal album.
yes. It's definitely a.
Great.
I'm sorry. I was just want to say it's definitely a huge favorite among the metalheads here in Louisiana as well. Being that we're so close to Florida.
Yes, and of course, well, all the classical stuff. Death metal was really popular in that time. You know,
Oh
death
right.
metal. You know, like bands like, you know, Benediction and like Morbid Angel, Deicide, of course, and Death, and, you know, that was, you know, all the classical. Of course, you know them. Yes, the
Mm-hmm.
classical Florida death metal, Obituary, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and some European death metal bands also, like Sinister, which are Dutch. It's a Dutch band. I don't know if you know Sinister or not. It was really popular in that time.
Yeah.
I really love Sinister from that time. Also, I listen. Actually, I listened to a lot of death metal also in the 90s, in the mid 90s, when I started listening. Also, I started listening to death metal and to black metal at the same time, almost. But of course, my all time favorite was always black metal band. But
Yeah.
I also listened to a lot of death metal.
Death metal and black metal really resonated with me once I first heard it in the mid '90s as well. And as I grew older, I just got more and more involved with both genres. Still a part of that today, obviously. But
Yeah.
moving back to your story, tell me about when was the time that you started playing your first instrument?
Well, yes. But actually, my older brother is also involved with that.
Oh, really?
In Yes, because he worked in a music store
Okay.
in a village nearby. So he worked. He was like an employee, on the
Uh-huh.
counter, just selling stuff, on an instrument store, a music store. So on the Saturdays, the drummer, which was, he was teaching drums. Some drum teacher. That's it. He didn't work on Saturdays because he always had gigs on Saturdays. And so the drum room was vacant on Saturdays. So my brother he knew I wanted to learn how to play drums.
Mm-hmm.
So he took me on this very old motorcycle, and we went, both to the store,
Yeah.
and he was like working, and I was like practicing, for free on the room.
Yeah.
So I started I learned to play drums just all by myself because I didn't have the money to buy, for a teacher to teach me. So I started playing, and just, day to day, I was like improving a little bit. And then my parents actually had some kind of, they sold some house, sold the house, and then they had money.
Mm-hmm.
So my father was like to me, he was like, Diogo, do you want a motorcycle, or do you want a drum set,
That's a hard
drum
choice.
kit? Yes. So I told him I want a drum kit. He bought me the drum kit, so I started playing in my house, and then shortly after, I just founded my first band. This was like, well, in 1996. I was 16 years old in that time.
Oh, you and I are the same age.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was born in November '79.
I was born in
So
I was born in
I'm.
I was born in February of '80, so we're not far apart at all.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. We're almost. Yeah, yeah. We are the same age. Yes,
Yep.
yes, yes. That
Yep.
is true. So we are from the same, generation.
We are. We
So
are.
you, of course, you understand me very good, I think, because
Absolutely.
we were raised at the same time.
Yep.
So it was it. I started playing drums, and shortly after, I founded my first band, which was called Tenebros Dominancy. Was the name of the band? Yes, in 1996. Yes, that was it. And
And
shortly after, in 1997, Grievance was born as a side project from that band.
oh wow.
Curiously,
So
yes,
you've had Grievance going on since '97.
yes, yes.
That wow. That's amazing. That's to keep
But
Grievance up that long. I mean, that's just saying how committed you are to your own music and your craft. And man, I have to give you some hails for
well,
that.
well, thank you. Well, yes, it's a passion. It's like you making this, having this work. Also, it's a passion.
It really is.
There's
Yeah.
no money who can pay the pleasure you have by doing this.
Hmm.
So uh, sometimes we sacrifice our own private lives and everything to do this, but it doesn't matter.
Right. Right. So
Yes, but Grievance had lots and lots of phases. Was halted for a couple of years too, almost halted the band. So it started as a duo, and then went to a four piece, then went to a three piece, and then went to a solo project in 2011. So as you can see, it was 25 years, yes, but very different phases and stuff happening. So it wasn't, or else I would have lots of albums. I just have four albums now. So
mm-hmm.
you can see it was it's a very long story, very long story. If you check out the biography there on the website, you can see there are lots of I just cut it by phases. I just put it in phases, in different phases. The first phase, it was in 1997, yes.
Yep.
And then it was when we recorded the first demo tape, which was called Por Entre a Escuridão Outonal, which is between the autumnal mist, no, not mist, between the autumnal darkness, which is a translation.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, just keep on. I'm just talking and talking and just.
Oh no, that's what we're about. We're all this podcast is dedicated to your time. This is your time to tell your story.
Well, yes, okay. So, but if you want, you can ask for more stuff.
Oh yeah, I am. Well, what I'm doing is, as you were talking about it, I was scrolling through your website and looking at the phases you were talking about, and it's really, really, man. I wish more and more artists did what you're doing right here with the website, because you break down everything that you were involved in. From the very first band that you were in, you were 16, 17 years old with Tenebris Dominancy, followed by
Actually, there's a video. Yes, there is a video on the website of my first gig ever.
That is
on the drums. Yeah.
That is amazing. This website is, to put it in the best way I can, it's amazing. I wish more and more people did this. Just to see what kind of artist you started out as, and just see the journey, and just watch. I could just watch it unfold to where you are now. It's
yes. As you can see, I had lots of different projects. Also, grindcore bands, death metal bands, experimental bands, and of course some black metal bands also.
Yep. And I see, so, I mean, there was a lot of bands where it was just either just by yourself. You maybe had 4 members in addition to you, or maybe just 2 or 3 guys. And
no, yes, yeah. It is some I started as a drummer.
Yes.
So I played in a lot of bands as a drummer. Just a drummer, a simple drummer. And then since 2006, I think, yes, since 2006, I started playing guitars, and I started in some death grind, black metal crossover band, playing guitars, and playing live guitar also. Then I started playing more and more guitar, and then for some circumstances which are explained there, Azarath, which was the main founding member, which founded Grievance with me since 1997. We are almost like best friends, till today. We are still great friends. He went to live to Spain, so to the south of Spain. On that regard, the band stopped its work since 2000, and then we resumed the work again in 2006 with a new member, which was a Spanish guy. It's called Alejandro, and he's a really nice guy also. So we had lots of good times together. I went by car to Spain to rehearse with them. Can you imagine? I was like 600, 700, I think, kilometers far from them. So, and I was putting some electronic drums,
yeah,
which make less noise, and took it to Algeciras, which is really near Gibraltar, on the south of Spain.
Yes.
Uh, and and then we rehearsed it in some apartment in the center of the town, And I was playing like electronic drums, and they were playing some bass and guitars, and then we composed some tracks. But then we made the second demo, and but then it was very difficult, very hard to rehearse like that.
Right.
Have rehearsals. It was very hard, and so the band stopped again. And then in 2011, I talked with Azeroth and told him, "Man, I want to pick up Grievance and and make something with this."
Yeah.
So we agreed, and I took the band, and since 2011, yes, I'm with Grievance alone as a solo project. And I think that's the only reason the band still exists, or else it would be doomed to disappear, without releasing actually one full length album. So it was a shame if that happened. So I had to stop that. So I learned to record music by myself. I made a small home studio, which is called X Farm Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And I record everything by myself today. All the albums were recorded by myself. I had some special guests, recording some instruments, but mainly I just do it all by myself.
Yeah, I've noticed that there are a number of bands that you were involved in that you played strictly guitars, like in Crypta de Brusso.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
And
Yes.
you allowed someone else to play the drums for you, since like I know drums were like your primary instrument growing up. So,
Yes.
how long did it take for you to learn the guitar?
Well, it was a progressive thing, I kind of started rehearsing a lot, and playing a lot, and pushing my boundaries technically.
Yeah.
But I'm not that good of a guitar player. I focus more on the creative aspect of playing guitars, and
Mm-hmm.
on the technical aspect of playing guitars. Today I will, I play. An average guitar player. Nothing fancy, but just I just prefer to play by feeling. Try
Yeah.
to
And
make some ambience, and record lots of I really love to record you know how you say it two melodies crossed over,
yeah.
like the guitars in Iron Maiden.
Yes.
I don't know if you're understanding me.
Oh, I understand. Yep.
Cross flowing guitars.
Um.
I don't know how you say it in English.
Oh yeah, you just playing two different like you said, just two melodies over each other, so that they could be in in harmony together. I understand.
Yes, yes,
And
that's it.
and
Actually, nowadays, when Grievance rehearses with the live members, because nowadays, as you can see on the website, Grievance plays live, and I'm live. I'm just the vocalist, I'm the front man. But I have four musicians playing with me, and on the rehearsals, if one of the guitar players misses the rehearsal, we can't rehearse because the music is so different played just with one guitar. It doesn't sound the same. It's very weird. Yes, but it's like that.
I mean, I think it's. I was listening to it whenever Diana sent it to me for the first time, and I listened to all the tracks from Grievance. And I totally forgot. Like she sent me the band, and I totally forgot that she did the artwork as well for
Oh
your
yes.
for your album. And I mean, every time that I see her artwork, like some original commissions, it just. I mean, she's just amazing artist. I'm glad to call her my friend. And
Well, yes, she's an amazing artist, and actually, the cover art from the latest Grievance album she had a lots of work. It was really work intensive, because I was discussing with her on the phone, just saying, oh, just a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it was like a trial and error thing.
Hmm.
She had lots of drafts made before the final picture, but it has lots of details. It's a great work. Yes, it's very very great work.
Whenever you and Diana were discussing ideas for the cover art, what are some of the ideas that you had? Like, what if you could tell me a little bit about the influences that went into that art for you?
Well, this is a very personal cover art. Actually, it
Okay.
has something really. Yes, because Nos Olhos da Coruja, which is the title of the album, it's
Yeah.
called In the Eyes of the Owl.
Okay.
That is the reason why there is an owl standing there, just looking at those ruins. I don't know if you're looking at the
I,
cover art
I am. I am looking at.
now.
Yep.
Yes, you can see there are some kind of ruins, on the far on the picture,
Right.
on the landscape.
Yep.
And those ruins are the portrait of ruins that really exist,
Okay.
which are placed really near my house,
Mm-hmm.
and they are from my ancestry, from my family. There
Yep.
are ruins from my family, from my ancestors, very old, from like I think it's from the 17th century. I think
Wow.
house. It's a very old house.
Yeah. Very.
Yes. And so this cover art is like it's an homage to all the nights, and I I strolled around those those ruins, and listening to black metal and getting inspired to making black metal. So this cover art is like an homage to that, you know.
That's.
Also, there it's an homage to my ancestries and all of their struggles,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also like a metaphor for what for for us. If the lyrics from the music, the track Nos Olhos da Coruja are in Portuguese, but in English, the main message, which is a very very you know it's a thing which we are discussing nowadays very much, which is to learn from your past, from the
Okay.
errors of the past. So the lyrics just say something like wandering through the landscape at night, that landscape at night. I transform into an owl and fly over the fields, remembering all of the bloodshed that happened in this land. All of the struggles, all of the blood, sweat, and tears, and all of the wars and the fights. The regimes, the invasions, everything. So it can be remembered, because if we don't remember the mistakes from the past and everything we learned from the past, we will commit those mistakes again.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
Yep. And we can't escape the current events that's unfolding right now with the whole Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Well, yes,
You know,
yes, yes, yes. Actually, it's very interesting, because the album was out like in 2020.
hmm.
But it's a very, it's a very, how you say it?
It's
It's happening.
yeah. It's
That
the
kind of stuff is happening every day, and with this kind of cancel culture stuff which is happening, people are trying to forget the past, which
yeah
is bad, because
yeah.
you have to learn from it.
You
Not embellishing it, or not saying, "Oh, the past it was all good and now it's all bad." It's not that which I'm trying to say.
I
I'm
understand.
trying to say yes, because there are lots of extremisms right now, and people just tearing down statues and stuff, which I think it's not, not that is not the real way, because if you destroy and erase something, you'll not learn from it. You have to, it's something like that. But this track is also talking about that in my way. Yes, that's it. Actually, this is the problem is that black metal is always very connected with, politics, but this is not a politic statement. This is not a political statement. This is just, it's plain common sense.
Right.
Nothing more, nothing less.
This songwriting and the atmosphere that you created with this track, because I listened to it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do. Whenever you told me that you were really involved listening to Emperor and Bursum, and like, I definitely hear that influence in this track.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Yes,
And
it is true.
and what I like to do right now, Koraxid, with your permission, I like to play the song and that we're talking about right here, just to give the audience members a little taste of what Grievance is all about. How's that sound?
Yes, sounds fine for me.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just and start the track. And Man, I got goosebumps just hearing that.
Well, thank you, thank you. Yes, it's one of my favorite tracks,
Yeah,
all time tracks from Grievance. Yes.
I love that riff that comes in that that in the middle of the song, man. It's like you have a little bit of like some chuggy riffs. That's kind of like the death metal influence in the middle of a black metal track. It's great.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Well, well, I haven't, I didn't listen to the music which we were listening. I think you had a small mistake there.
Okay.
I think you put it the music Tell Me Guido. That one is the Chug riff because I wasn't listening to the track over here, you know.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine, you know, because that one, yes, the Chug riff. I think I'm trying to, you know, to perfect Grievance sound. And
Mhm.
one of the things I want to try to do is to try to create a more southern sound, a more Portuguese sound. And
Okay.
I'm really influenced by the Nordic bands,
Yeah.
and that as everybody who is into black metal is. That's not because they are Nordic; it's because they are good. You know,
Right. Right.
I think, yeah.
It,
But I really enjoy also the Greek movement, the Greek black metal band. There are lots of them because and they have a very distinct sound. Also, the American bands.
what
I really like American bands. Also, I'm a great Absu fan,
what
which are from Texas, right?
uh what,
Hello,
yeah, I'm here. Which band what you talking about from Texas?
Absu.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, Absu. I think I listened to Absu since I was a kid. Also, it was a great influence to me actually on the
Uh-huh.
drumming. You know, the proscriptor drumming, which is a great drummer. You know, it's a very insane drummer. I really like his drumming, and I really like the music from Absu, which is very different. You
Mhm.
know, and it was the first American black metal band I listened to a lot. You know, and they were very good. You know, their first three albums are great albums and I really love. Actually, my favorite is their second album, which is oh, sorry, what is the name? I don't listen to it. I'm remembering the third album's name, which is the third song of Citro. And oh, it's the Son of Tiferet.
O-
Yes, that's
Okay.
it. Their second album.
Have you
But I really did. Yes, yes.
have you ever heard of the band Abysmal Lord from Louisiana?
No,
Okay.
actually, no. Abysmal.
I will send you a link to their band camp. And
All right.
and there's also another band from New Orleans, Louisiana called Mahinet. And
Okay.
I think they would be right in your wheelhouse as far as black metal is concerned from America, and Goat Whore as well. Have,
Oh, Good Horror, I've listened to it.
oh,
Yes,
you have?
that one. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm a really big fan of Rast's work, which is Leviathan and Lurker of Chalice.
Yes.
I'm a really big fan of that guy. You know, he actually has a very, it's interesting because he has a very parallel story to mine because he started as a drummer, as I did. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually he composes the music as I do, which is a very weird way of composing music. Which I start with the drums, you know, because it's my my bass instrument, my first instrument, and the instrument which I think I'm the best playing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I start to I start the process of composing new tracks for Grievance,
Mm-hmm.
just recording drum tracks,
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
then composing the riffs over the drum tracks. So it does the same. I discovered that because I saw that probably you saw it also the documentary One Man Metal.
Yes, I did. I did watch that.
Yes, yes. and Rest's way of composing is the same as mine. Actually, I really like his music, especially Lurker of Chalice, which has that album. It's to me it's one of the masterpiece. And Leviathan also has very good albums released.
Yeah,
So he's a great musician, yeah, and he's American also. So, and the Shastur also, which is very experimental, very dark stuff. I really like it also.
it's very dark, and it's music. Well, Leviathan's music, especially, it's very
Yes,
co-
but
comes from a place of just despair, and it's just haunting.
yes,
Yeah.
I really like some. There are very good American black metal bands. But I was saying about the sound of Grievance. I'm trying to perfect the sound and trying to, explore it in some other ways.
Hmm.
On the next albums, I will try to do stuff like that. Not, it's not my idea is not to make the sound more death metalish. Not that kind of approach. I want to make pure black metal, really dark stuff and dark music. That is the thing I really love to do, and dark ambient stuff, but I want to experiment more, and there are lots of new stuff that can be done. So I'll try to, to perfect, stuff. That's it. Yes.
Yeah, and I think the more you push your music into that direction, that it's more dark ambiance, and and sticking in that black metal grain. I mean, you're perfecting it. It just, to me, just what the small sample serving I've got of this album that you put out, it's really good. I mean, it's
Oh, thank you.
it's just my personal opinion. In your website, I mean, everything that you're pushing, it has all the makings of being successful. So, my congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. Yes, but there are lots of things to improve, still. But yes, but now Grievance is since I pick up the band, I'm trying to release more, not having much years of difference between releases.
Hmm.
I just released this latest album in 2020. Actually, I have a split CD just ready. The problem is that the other band is still finishing its part,
Uh huh.
and I don't know really when it's going to come out. But I have to wait. This is the I never have made a split CD.
Hmm.
This is the first one in my life as a musician. But it's very it's different. It's very different to do. But I have 5 new tracks which I'm playing live already, and they're all sang in English. Actually, I
Oh,
tried, I always sing in Portuguese, and I think I tried other approach, making these 5 tracks in English.
okay.
But I think I'm going to return to the Portuguese. I really love to to scream, and to to speak in Portuguese live. It's very, the way the Portuguese language is the phonetics of the Portuguese language makes it. I don't know. It gives it. I think it gives it some kind of appeal, some different appeal than English.
I would agree to that.
Um,
I would agree.
yes, it's like if you listen to Norwegian, black metal bands that sing in Norwegian,
Mhm.
it's the same thing. It's kind of odd.
Yeah,
Kind of different.
and what I appreciate about it is that now with the technology of Google Translate, you could translate the lyrics with your phone, and really and get a new perspective of what they're singing about. And
Yes, yes, yes. It's true.
it
It's
just
true.
and it makes me want to learn a new language just for that. So and you singing in Portuguese, it's your natural language. It's it's what you grew up as a child learning how to communicate. And phonetically, yes, that alone brings another added layer to the track, and that's something I could definitely get behind. I mean, it to me, like, it creates an atmosphere all of its own. So I don't blame you wanting to go back to Portuguese.
Yes. I think so. But I know I'm open to experiments. I experimented with English. I think I will try eventually to write at least one lyric, one lyrics, one track's lyrics in Latin also, which is the base of Portuguese language.
Right.
Is a Latin language, because of the Roman Empire. It invaded all Europe and invaded also the Iberian Peninsula,
Yeah.
where are the two countries, Spain and Portugal. And so our languages, Spanish or Portuguese, which are very alike. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but Spanish and Portuguese are very alike. They're not that different. They're very. Lots of people, lots of words are the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's because we are neighboring countries. So, but we are both Latin languages. We are based in Latin, so it's a shame, the old the tribes that lived here before the invasion of the Roman army.
Uh-huh.
It's a shame they didn't wrote their language. There are no records of their language. Nothing. No no words. No nothing. It's a shame.
I'm
Shame.
I'm
Because
still
I'm really interested into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big history is part of my makeup. Something I do for my day job. I have to look up a whole lot of historical records on a state level. But like I've always been interested in world history as well. But and speaking of history, I'm going through the different bands that you posted that you were involved in. And one of them that I'm really curious to know about is your band Zephyrus, which was in 2014,
Oh yeah,
2016.
yes.
And I see the style you named black metal and D beat. Please tell me about this band. How did this start? What were your influences, and why?
Well, this started as a jam session actually with
Okay.
a friend of mine, which is a classical punk hardcore drummer,
Mm-hmm.
and he plays that kind of D beat, punk D beat.
Yep.
So we kind of we were friends for lots of years, but we never played together.
Okay.
So one day I talked to him, and on that years, my studio was actually inside of the city of Caldas, inside of the city. And then some years later, I just moved again to the countryside where I'm at right now. But then we were on the city, just that kind of random stuff, like drinking some beers on a pub, and just like joking around about music and stuff. And he's like a punk guy, punk hardcore guy, and I'm like black metal, death, but more black metal guy, But we're friends for lots of years. So we were like discussing stuff about music, and I told him, man, we never jammed together. Do you want to make some jam, some
Yep.
jamming?
Yep.
And he was like, all right, just let's go. So I went to the guitar and to the voice, and he went to the drums. So we started playing, and it went really well. So I was like, what about making some kind of band with this, a project or something? So then Zephyrus project was born. It was like that, very, it was not planned,
What if
it's
you?
something that happened.
Yeah, I like that. It's very natural and organic, thing amongst friends, and
Yeah.
and projects like that where they just take off. It's probably some of the best performances that you probably put out, I'm sure. between the band.
Well, yeah, it was cool, It was very short-lived. It was short-lived. That project lived for like 1 year or something.
Okay.
We released the demo tape.
Uh-huh.
You can check it out. I think there is a Bandcamp
Okay.
with the demo. You can listen to
Uh,
it if you want to. But it's really a mix because I use my harsh voice as I use it in Grievance.
mm-hmm.
The same voice.
Mm-hmm.
And the guitar, it's a mix between black metal riffs and some punk riffs, and the drums is like typical D beat,
Yep.
punk rock stuff, punk hardcore stuff, So
I'm
it's like it's a strange crossover, very strange crossover.
I am definitely interested in that because if there's one, well, two genres of music that I'm definitely into, it's black metal and D beat. I want to ask you, what is some of your favorite D beat bands that you appreciate?
Well, actually, I'm not that kind of a. I don't have any favorite D beat bands actually.
Okay.
If you ask me, yeah, it's true. I'm not really a D beat fan myself. That was just a casual thing, that happened.
Okay.
So, but as a musician, I'm a very open-minded person.
Yeah.
So I was not like, oh, I don't want to play with you because you play D beat. I was like, oh, why not?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I was like that. But I personally, I don't have any DB favorite bands, which just I really don't listen to. Sorry to say that, but it's true.
Maybe I can send you a few D beat bands over and it'll win you over.
Yes, you can do that.
And
Okay.
and then I'm looking at another band that's currently active according to your website is Maldito. Is that
Oh
correct?
yes, Maldito. Yes,
Maldito.
the
And
Maldito.
Maldito.
Yes, it's mean damned in English.
Okay.
Same thing.
You have several black metal bands that you have founded and over the years, and I was just wondering that as a drummer and as a musician, did you stick to one type of influence? Like did you say to yourself and your band members, look, I want to bring in a sound that's strictly Impale Nazarene, or it's strictly Burzum, or strictly influenced
Oh
by no? Okay.
no. I never do that because you are if you do it's this is a personal opinion, of course, but if you do that, you are like you're diminishing yourself.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
because you're narrowing the spectrum of creativity.
Agreed.
So yes, if you do that, you do like some kind of homage or copycat band of something. And that is not really my purpose as an artist and as a musician to do that. Of course, I have my influences as you said, and they are very evident in the music I do. I'm trying to avoid to do that, but it's kind of it's not easy to do that. To
Mm-hmm.
try to do something really new and something really original inside this subgenre. But I'm trying to do it. So we'll see what comes out. But no, I never did that. Maldito, the project, actually, it was an invitation by Nocturnus Horrendus, which is the vocalist and main man from Corpus Christi,
Uh-huh.
which is, I don't know if you know that band or not, but nowadays they're like, I think I could say they are the main black metal Portuguese band, or the more known abroad.
Yes. Yes. I
In
have heard of
Portugal.
Corpus Christi, and I failed to
Yes.
I failed to realize that they're from Portugal. that's my mistake.
Yes, yeah, but and he talked to me. He was like, oh, I wanted to make something with you, some project or some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to, let's make some side project. It was like that on the phone with me, and I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And then he talked also to D Sabaoth, which is the guitar player and main man from Flagellum Day, which is a band which I was involved with also. and it is one of the most important Portuguese black metal bands,
Hmm.
a very old band also. And so we joined the efforts, the three of us, and kind of put out a demo. For now, I would love to make more music with them because it's a real pleasure, because they are great musicians, both of them, great guitar players, great composers, and we got along really good. Actually, nowadays I'm playing. I was invited later to playing as a session bass player on Corpus Christi. So now I'm
Oh
playing
wow.
with Corpus Christi live also. So at the same time, I'm a live member from a band, and I have four live members playing with me, which is really strange. But actually, I can know what is to be on the both positions, as a live member and with live members. It's kind of strange, yes, I know, but it happened.
Yeah.
It's circumstantial stuff, happening.
It sounds to me that where you're located in Portugal, that the black metal community, the black metal scene is really tight together. It's really just from what you're talking about, it seems like everyone is very engaging with one another and very in tune to what each other's doing. Um, it sounds like it's a very supportive place as far as the community out there. Do I have that?
Well, we are not that much, that much, there are not that much bands,
Yeah.
so everybody knows each other, from gigs, from hanging out in bars, in festivals, drinking some beers, hanging out, how
Hmm.
how that is.
Yeah.
So everybody knows each other, so we kind of respect each other. We are, yes, yeah, you can say it's a tight theme. Mainly, yes, because everybody gets along more or less. Some better, some less. Some better, some worse. But everybody gets along. Yes, yes, it's true. It's true. And the Portuguese scene is really, it's small, but it's very, die hard, because everybody who is in this kind of music is really passionate about it. Which is really important. Also, I think.
Yeah. And I think once you have that camaraderie among each other in a small metal community where you're located, it you're able, like, each band could push each other, in a friendly way, um, push the level of musical talent among your ranks. And I'm sure
Yes, yes.
I'm sure that's something that y'all can all appreciate about one another.
Yes, it's true. It's true, and I really like that.
Hmm.
Because if you're like on that kind of misanthropic thing, like, oh, I don't speak to anybody or something like that, you don't evolve as an artist. Just
Right.
do your own thing and that's it. Which I respect. If you want to do that, do it. But on the other hand, it's nice to exchange knowledge and meet people and talk to people. I really like that. I'm not that kind of misanthropic person. Actually, I really like to be alone also, but on this kind of movement, inside the black metal circle, as you can call it, I think it's good for people to get along and try to, yeah, it's like to defy one another and do stuff and try to, to make the Portuguese scene more, stronger. That is important to me. Yes, I can say that.
Absolutely. I want to. I keep looking at the Grievance logo. Is that something that you drew up yourself?
Well, actually, the logo was made by Azaroth, which is the co-founder of Grievance. He
Okay.
made it in 1997,
Okay.
and it's a little bit, you know, I really love it, but it's very dated, isn't it?
No.
In that time, in the late 90s, lots of bands had logos who look a little bit like this one, don't you think?
The only one that really comes to mind is Satyricon. That's
Satyricon.
yeah. That's the only one that but because I want to tell you that, you know, it's, even though that you may feel it's a dated logo, I love it because it's one of those logos where you could actually see, you could read the name of the band. You don't, there's no guesswork involved, and it's very artistic. And I'm a fan of that. You know, I know a lot of black metal bands. You know, it looks like someone put a bunch of paint on a tree branch and just, you know, hit the wall and said, "That's my fucking band name right there."
Yes, I understand, but make no mistake, I really love the logo. I really love it.
Oh, yes.
I really love it. Yes, I really like it. But I was saying it was a little bit dated, but it was not like a negative thing. I
Okay.
think it's a fact. You know, it's different. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I think, you know, taste is something which is so. How can I put it? It's so relative. You know, it's
Yeah.
you know, different people, different tastes.
Yep.
So that's it.
You're
To
right.
me, actually, there are logos which are very simple, which I love,
Mm-hmm.
and there are also logos where like that kind of logos which you were saying about, like you painted some tree branches and some stuff and did it, which I really love. Also, not
Yeah.
all of them, of course,
Yeah.
but I think there are a couple of them which are really good. I was recalling actually the first Absu logo, which I don't know if you know it or not, because the average Absu logo is very, you know, very well made and very, you know, you can read, of course, the name. But the first Absu logo, it was like that kind of tree branch stuff you were talking about, and
Yeah.
I really love it. So if you go to the web, you can check it out if you want to. I don't know if you know it or not. It only came out in some first editions of the first album and on the demos also, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of rare, you know.
I
But as you can see, I'm a real Absu fan.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And but all the artwork and like the photography that you chose for your the single releases and the full length artwork, I really love it. I do. I'm a huge fan of like that, of like minimalist, using like a forest horizon or some scenery like that. I think you can't go wrong with that at all. I mean, because it leaves a lot to the audience member to interpret what they could be listening to, and not give the impression that, oh, it's going to be depressing ass black metal from the jump, or it's going to be really hard and abrasive, or it's going to be completely ambient and melodic. You don't know what you're getting until you press play.
I think to me, it's really nice for you to understand that, because that was really that is you really just explained the idea which I also have, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because it is good to have a cover art which doesn't indicate 100% what kind of record is that, you know.
Yes.
It makes you want to listen to it, you know, which is nice, you know. It's kind of a mysterious, you know. I always remember. I think to me it's the biggest example of all of this kind of cover art, which is, I know it is a very, you know, band which is connected to far right stuff and everything, but I just focus on the music, which is Burzum, of course,
Mm-hmm.
with the cover art of especially of Philosophem, you know,
Yes. Yes.
which is like, if you look at that cover art, you can't imagine what is there inside that record, can't
No.
you?
No, you can't.
You would think would be like a folk record or something like that, you know.
Exactly. You put that record on, and you're in for a treat. That's for sure. If if you're expecting folk art and folk music, you're sadly mistaken.
Oh yes, oh yes, because the guitar sound on that album is like completely abrasive. It's very harsh.
Yes.
Very, I really love it because of that. Because of the harshness of the sound and the beauty that. Here we go to the first. I think it was the first theme we talked about because it's the why I love black metal so much, because to me that crossover between beauty and harshness, it's the real thing that attracted me to this style. Well, of course, also the kind of the corpse paint in the looks, in the spikes and the swords, and as you can see in my pictures, I use it a lot, because I really love that too, because I think it gives it's a kind of a more theatrical thing, yes,
I'm looking.
that's it.
I'm looking at the pictures right now.
Yeah.
As soon as they load up, you can't the look that with the corpse paint and the spikes and the sword that you're carrying. Nobody could pull that off over here in the United States. No
Oh
one.
yeah.
I mean, people try, but the United States is not known for the type of history that Portuguese and other European countries have at their disposal, and the type of lineage among the people, the traditions that y'all carry. I mean, we've had Revolutionary War, we had the Civil War, we had a bunch of civil unrest among the history, but we nowhere involved in that was like these beautiful,
Yes, I
beautiful.
understand. Yeah, I understand your point.
Yeah,
But you can always look at the sword as a symbol more than the object itself.
right.
As a more, as a symbol, and actually, I look at the swords more as a symbol than as a weapon. As a medieval weapon. But yes, I understand, and it's kind of difficult for the American people to do that. But I will talk again about Apsu once more.
Okay.
It keeps coming up,
Sure, sure.
because Apsu talk about Celtic mythology, and stuff from they talk about Celtic mythology, and they also talk about stuff from Mesopotamia and Middle East, and they are American. So I think yes. On one hand, I understand and agree with you, but on the other hand, everybody's free to do anything they want. If you want to talk about medieval stuff, it's not because you're American that you cannot do it.
Hmm.
I think because it's world history. On that times, yes, of course, the Europeans invaded the what is now United States. That's true, but it's history. But well, I don't know. It's a kind of a difficult matter, to pick some side to say yes, it's bad for American people to talk about medieval stuff because on medieval times, as we portray them, happen in Europe, not in the United States. But on the other hand, why not? It's yeah, we could talk about that all day and make no conclusion. I think.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
agree with you.
Yes, yes.
What are some of the best experiences you've had playing live with Grievance?
Well, uh, actually, the band just started playing live again in 2008, I think, as a five-piece.
Mm-hmm.
We played around 97 to 2000, no, to 97 to 99. First as a two-piece with a guest guitar player, which was actually my brother because he's also a guitar player. And then on this with the second uh, wave, I should say, of Grievance, which was the experimental times. as with actually a trumpet player. Can you imagine a guy playing the
Wow.
trumpet
Wow.
and the guitar player and me on the drums and Nazareth on bass and voice. But that times we were like too much, too much drugs and alcohol. I can't remember that. I can't remember that much. It was really crazy time. But now, in referring more to this new era, yes, there have been some great gigs. Yes, probably I think the one which make me more, proud was the one which we were the opening act for British Hecate Enthroned band. I don't know if you know them or not.
I haven't.
They were very big in the 90s.
What was the name again?
Hecate Enthroned.
Yes. Yes, I've heard of them.
Yes, they're a British band.
Mm-hmm.
I really listened to them. Well, actually, when I founded the Grievance in 1997, it was the first full length from Hecate and Toronto, which I love, listened to it a lot on that time. And you can imagine, like 20, more than 20 years later, you're going to be an opening act for that band, which you listen when you were a kid, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's in Lisbon, in a very nice venue, which is called RCA Club. It's one of the best Lisbon venues for metal gigs. You know, it was like mind blowing to me. It was really nice, and actually the biggest the most pleasure I had was like when the guys from Hecate in Toronto came to me on the backstage after our gig when they were preparing their gig,
Uh-huh.
and they were like, all of them were like, "Man, it's fucking great band, it's really good. We really enjoy it. Very nice, Grievance rules and everything." I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "What the hell? What is happening here?" It's like it's very rewarding, to
Absolutely.
see that kind of, and we exchanged records actually. The guys, I give a vinyl edition of the third album from Grievance and was Facet, and they give me a vinyl from the latest album also, just all signed by the guys from the band and ever. It was really, it was a great night, that one. Yeah, it was really, really, really nice. It was like in 2000. Let me see, 2019, I think.
Oh wow.
Yes, it was in 2019. It was before the pandemic, of course. Yeah, because that the pandemic really, you know, you can imagine, what
Uh,
happened. Everybody stopped. Yeah.
I'm scrolling through your pictures here on Facebook, and I'm looking at the some of the photos you have with Corpus Christi, and saying how you were a session bass player for them in Switzerland.
Oh yes, yes. I played in Switzerland with the Corpus Christi on October last year. Yes, it was really nice also. But it's different, There, I'm just the bass player. I just go there and play the bass. No, it's different. But yes, it was very nice. Of course, it was a pleasure to. Actually, we played before Dark Funeral, and
Oh
I could
wow.
actually, after playing with Corpus Christi, I just watched the Dark Funeral gig just after, It was
What
really nice, yes.
what was the one live act that you were able to watch, whether it was supporting somebody or you as an audience member, that just blew your mind? Like
Whoa. Oh, yes, I have lots of them.
okay, well, you can name as many as you
One
want.
that really blew my mind completely was the first time I saw Inquisition live,
Oh
which
wow.
is also an American band, which also I love Inquisition.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Mhm.
forgot that one. I really like the sound of them because I forgot that one because of the problems that surfaced because of the vocalist.
Yeah.
Yes, that stuff, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But putting that aside, as a band, and they're really great. They're one of the best, or the best black metal American band. I think it's actually if they're not the best, they're on the top 5 to me.
Definitely.
And the first time I saw Inquisition, I was like completely freaked out because I didn't knew the band. I never heard nothing about Inquisition, and I was like, "What the hell? How how can I how I cannot know this?" You know, I was like, "Whoa!" Completely baffled. You know,
Right.
I really loved it. You know, it was insane. You know, it's a great band. It's a great band. Yes.
What's some other performances that that really stand out that you could think of?
Other performances. Okay, let me think a little bit. Well, I don't know. Maybe let me think. Let me think. Oh, I listen to, but that is not really black metal. It's more experimental, which is actually they are American also, which is Imperial Triumphant. You know that band?
Yes, they just recently played New Orleans, and I missed them. I was so pissed off at myself.
Man, it's insane. But they played Portugal also a couple of years, and I was like baffled with the technical prowess of them. They're like flawless, you know. They play so intricate and complex music, and they don't miss like a note, you know. The drummer didn't miss the beat, you know. It's insane. They are really great musicians.
Yep.
But and all the you know the masks and everything, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting band. Yes, I really like them. I really like to watch them live. Oh, a good band which I really well, it's black metal. It's more on that trashy edge, you know, more old school, which was Niflheim from
Yeah.
Sweden. I don't know.
Yes, I know.
Yes, have you saw them some live anytime or not?
I've never seen them live, but I've listened to them all over wherever you could stream them. That's for sure.
All right. Well, they are brilliant live band, a brilliant live band. You were like completely, you know, you can't go, you know, when they start playing, you just stop staring at them. You're like, oh man, what an energy, you know. Those guys are like old guys right now, like 50-ish or 60-ish years old or something. They're like some kids, you know. They're completely very aggressive, you know, very, you know, how could I say it? Very good.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
it. They're very good. They're very good live. Another band which really surprised me, it was Immortal,
Uh-huh.
but I saw them not that much more, not that time ago. It was like 10 years ago. It was on that tour when they had like Abath, Horg, and that other guy from Aura Noir. I don't remember his name.
Apollyon.
The bass player.
Apollyon.
Apollyon, that's it.
Yep.
Yes. I saw them live and I was like completely baffled with always also the technical prowess of them playing. They were very good playing live.
Absolutely.
Very good. I was really, you know, surprised. Not with the, you know, how can I say it? Not with the crab walking stuff, which I don't like it actually. But with the professionalism, you know,
Yeah.
they are very good live. They were in that time. They were very good live.
Yeah. Always.
Another band, Watine, also they have lots of fire and blood and kinds of. Have you seen them live?
Well, here's
Watine?
I have not. And look, I was supposed to see them next week in Houston, Texas.
Oh,
They were supposed to play,
man, they canceled.
but they
Yes.
they had to cancel the entire North American tour because on account that they can't get their work visas, I guess. So that's a huge bummer.
Well, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And actually, I follow them on Instagram, and I saw that news, and I was like, oh man, that's really bad for the band. You know,
Yeah.
they were preparing all the logistics and everything. You know, it's really bad. You know. But yes, live bands, which I can remember, I really love to see is that ones. I'm forgetting. Oh yes, I saw Mayhem also, which was very nice gig. It was like 10 years ago or something. All with Attila Xar on voice, which I really love. some people don't like him. I really like his voice and his all of his apparatus. You know, all of this theatrical stuff. He's a really good vocalist
Oh, he really
and
is.
very original.
And yeah, so I'm hoping to still go to that show because Mayhem's gonna be there, Midnight's gonna be there. There's
Yeah.
two bands that I really enjoy to listen to. So I'm definitely gonna make my way to Houston, regardless that Watain is not gonna be there. Um, and I like to ask this question to pretty much everyone that joins my podcast. And I know I didn't give you any time to prepare. So if you need to look at your collection on your phone, but I'm really curious if your home was on fire and you only had 6 albums to choose from, what are the 6 albums that's going to leave with you before the house burns down?
Whoa, that is a really tough question, man. It's a really tough question. Oh, albums that, but from other bands, right?
Yes, yes.
From my collection. Well, from my record collection. Well, let me see. Well, one of them, of course, it had to be Abigor Verwustung Invoked Dark Age, which is the first Abigor album. I don't know if you know that band, Abigor from Austria.
I do not.
Austrian black metal. Oh,
This is new to
you
me.
have to hear it.
Please send me a link.
Oh, okay. You can write it down. Abigor,
Okay.
which is Igor.
Got it.
You can. Oh man, you're gonna love it. I think so. Well, I have the original first press CD, which I bought on that in the 90s. You know,
Uh-huh.
had to take it. Another one which I have. It is an American version of Burzum's Philosophum in Digipack. It came from America, actually. And I have a cousin of mine, which we are great friends. He lives in the United States
Oh.
for a long time, you know, since he was like a teenager. And he and that time, and he also loves black metal and listens to a lot of black metal till today. And he helped me a lot, you know. If you go to Instagram, to Grievance Instagram, you can see a picture actually with the 3 persons which I talked about with me, my brother, my older brother, and my cousin. We are the 3 in my bedroom, like in the mid 90s. And that cousin of mine just sent me from the United States this CD from Burzum, this Philosopher. I think I would take it also because so now we have two CDs. So what about more? Let me see. Well, actually, the first, of course, the first Cradle of Filth album also, because it was the first real black metal band I heard. So F3. What more? Well, I don't know. It's very hard, you know. Well, I have a vinyl also from which I love from Enslaved, which is the Norwegian
Yep.
band.
Enslaved.
You probably know them.
Mm-hmm.
This is their first album, the first album from Enslaved, which is Vikingliger Veldi, which I love, and I have it in vinyl in a rare. I think this is a bootleg. I don't know. It's a very rare vinyl. I would take it also. And what more? Let me see. I don't know. Actually, I don't have that much records, curiously, but maybe I'm just staring at. Oh yes, I know. The first Satyricon album, Dark Medieval Times.
Oh
I
yeah.
really love it.
Very good.
So, but it's difficult. Oh yes, and I had, of course, the CD from Nightside Eclipse from Emperor. Also, I would exchange the one from Satyricon for that one. I think.
Okay.
Yes, because Nightside Eclipse, I have it on CD from that era, also from the 90s. So, but I have lots of more records. It's difficult, you know. 5 CDs, it's difficult, you know.
Oh,
Oh, you told it was 5 or 6.
6. 6. One more.
6. Oh, so okay, so that's it. So I have 6 So I have Abigor, I have Emperor, Satyricon 3, and then Cradle of Filth 4, Burzum 5, and what was the other?
The enslaved.
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 That's it.
Yep.
6.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
You did it.
Well, I think I would regret my choice after, because it's very difficult, man. It's very difficult.
I know. It's a very
There's so many good albums, you know.
all some excellent choices. I mean, and the fact that that I put you on a spot like that all the way in Portugal, and you can name off 6 albums. I mean, they're brilliant, and I think when I get to hear someone name the 6 albums that they had to take with them before, you know, the roof would cave in or their house would burn down, it tells me a lot about what drives their musical vehicle, if I could say so. What helps inspire everything that you're doing musically. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's very, as I was saying, it's very hard to choose.
Yep.
Very hard.
So
Very hard to choose.
So what's next? So what's next on your agenda for Grievance and or any other musical projects you got going on in the future? What can we expect to hear from you?
Well, I have that split CD coming out. I don't know when, but the music is ready.
Okay.
From Grievance is everything is done. So I'm just waiting for the other band. So I can't tell you when is going to be out, but I think in this year. I hope so. I hope so. This year it will be out, that split CD with 5 new tracks from Grievance, like 25 minutes of music from my part, you know, with the other band. The other band is called Die Black Blood, which is a side project from D Sabal from Flagellum Day, which with that guy that participates also on the Maldito project.
Okay.
So as you can see, everything is like connected again.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I tried to record new drum tracks with a landed drum kit, Mapex, from the drummer from Morton, which is the live drummer from Grievance. His drum kit, because my drum kit, which is a Pearl drum kit, is very old, you know, and the drum heads were very beat up. So he kind of lended it to me. I just put it all the mics in. Everything was already everything was done to record new drum tracks, but I wasn't really satisfied with my drumming, so I kind of quit it. And now I put up my Pearl drum kit again, and I am practicing and trying to improve my drumming, because I'm really, you know, out of shape drumming. I really need, you know, playing black metal on drums is very demanding.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's no easy feat. That's for sure.
Yep, and so I want to be in my best shape to record a new album. I want to start recording a new album soon, within this year. Maybe more to the summer, I think I will start recording it. And my idea is to release a new album, I think, in 2023. I hope. There is no deadlines, there is no label pressure, there is no. Hello?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, it's my ear, but they are saying they need to be recharged or something.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it. You know, my plans are that. You know, the band is just riding. You know, we are playing live. We are going to play live now in a very good gig with actually with American Autopsy. You know, band,
Oh
the death
wow.
metal band.
Yes.
Yeah, they're headliners. They're headliners of this festival. We are going to play there also, which is an honor for us. It is on the northern Portugal, on the north.
Uh-huh.
It's a great festival with Magla also, and a couple of good bands there, foreign bands, and so It's going to happen on the end of April.
Okay.
So we're preparing for that gig. There are lots of more gigs like that. I am talking with people that possible will happen. I don't know. I'm going to play live also with Corpus Christi. They are releasing a new album. So it's, there are lots of stuff happening, yes. As
Are,
you can see.
are you by any chance gonna be at the Inferno Festival in Norway this year?
Inferno Fest. Where is that festival?
That's in Norway, in Oslo.
Oh, I would hope so, but I don't think so.
Oh man, because
We are going to play. We are going to play in Finland, actually. Corpus Christi. Going to play in Finland, which is how you call it. It's a very big festival there. Very big black metal festival there, which is I can't remember the name actually. Steel Fest. Yes.
Steel
Do you
Fest.
know it?
No, I have not. I've not heard of that festival. But the reason why I mentioned Inferno Festival because me and my fiance were actually going out to Denmark. We're having our wedding ceremony in Denmark, and then I'll be heading to the Inferno Festival in Norway shortly after that.
Whoa, that's very nice. That is good news.
Yeah.
Well,
So
congratulations.
thank you. And I always ask everyone that that has some European ties if they're gonna go to Inferno Fest, because I mean it would be an honor to meet y'all out there if I could. So that's why I'm just putting it out there.
You're not planning to come more to the south of Europe, aren't you?
Well, you never know. We may have to set a little time to travel out there sometime this year. That's for sure.
Well, if you come nearby, just say something.
I will definitely.
You can come and visit here, this small city of Caldas da Rainha, or we can meet in Lisbon.
Oh yeah,
also.
that's true.
It's fun. Yes.
Well, look, man, Koraxid, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you for giving me and the audience members everything that you shared today. Thank you so much, and let's keep in touch. Definitely.
All right. I thank you also for your interest in Grievance and in the black metal genre as a whole, because there are some few people who like this. So everyone's help is needed. To try to to make it grow in some way. So thank you very much also, and it was a pleasure.
Pleasure's all mine, and I'm looking forward to the next what you have coming up in the future, and definitely keep me posted if you ever by some chance come to United States and tour with Grievance. If you get on a festival touring cycle or something over here, please let me know. I'll be sure to go check you out.
All right. I will. Thank you.
Cheers, my friend. And on that note, I'm gonna sign out, and but I'm gonna send you some links of some of the bands I told you about. So be ready for that.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. See you later.
See you later.
Okay. Bye.